Nearly 50 people have been caught not wearing face masks in public on the first day of enforcement. The latest figures have been released by Environment and Water Resources Minister Masagos Zulkifli. Now, the wearing of masks was made mandatory 2 days ago. From today, first-time offenders will be fined $300 and repeat offenders $1,000. When CNA visited areas like Clementi and Bukit Panjang, enforcement officers could be seen conducting checks. While our cameras didn't spot anyone being fined, but those who weren't wearing masks correctly were told to put them on properly. Well, fines will be issued to 150 people who breached safe distancing measures. The National Environment Agency has also released peak hour timings for wet markets, which authorities have labeled as hotspots for crowds. The situation now appears to be more manageable.
It's only 7 a.m. at this wet market at Clementi, and already a queue has formed to enter. Safe distancing rules mean that only a limited number of people are allowed to be inside at any one time, but the line moved fast. Other measures include markings on the floor and even regular public announcements in different languages. Market goers and stallholders have had to get used to such measures to thin crowds, and it appears to have done the trick.
Stallholders, they are complaining that why inside there's no less customer and outside there's a long queue. We need to explain to them there's a limit capacity of 120 only at one time. During this circuit breaker time, we have been working very closely with the town councils, and we have deployment to control and organize the crowd. Every half an hour, our officer is going site to monitor the crowds.
At nearby West Coast Market, the crowd was mostly gone by 8:30 a.m. While some stalls still had lines, they were thinner compared with the busiest period, which stallholders say is between 7 and 8 a.m. The crowd here is in stark contrast to bigger markets like Geylang Serai, which extended operating hours to 5 p.m. this past weekend in hopes that shoppers would space their visits apart.
从来不会的，从年轻到老我都是很早，我不喜欢下午出门。
If they extend the operating hours, will you come in the afternoon?
No. I can buy in Sheng Siong also. This is Freshness and DUC also have.
他们来是全部是早上就来了，因为他们知道啊，巴萨的事物啊，什么都是很新鲜。过了11、2点，那个人潮已经开始越来越少了，所以你延迟也是浪费时间，而且他们是。这些摊贩他们很早就起身，所以他们就好像说这个时候收了就早点回家休息了。
The Jurong West Hawker Association, which operates this so-called hotspot wet market, says the same. There were still sneaking queues at 10:30 a.m., slightly past the peak hour window, although the association says it usually subsides by noon. NEA says it leaves the decision of opening hours to the stallholders, but encourages them to extend it into the early afternoon. They will also continue to monitor the crowds at hotspot markets.